one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being...
It's always a pleasure to... Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission.
Don't worry about that.
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues, but the troupe has also been experiencing...
That does sound like...
That's right. Our adventurers, there are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't...
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any idea? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience.
If you're interested in helping, maybe you can't fill the role yourselves.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? Paimon approves. Hello there. Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in...
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already.
Rằng
But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of us a...
I see. It's okay. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice.
không biết là cái nhiệm vụ này là xảy ra trước hay sau nhiệm vụ ma tuần nhỉ?
Just a group. All our sets and props are very... If we had a way to make this profitable...
To span?
Chắc là sau.
You're splitting up...
Oh, I guess the lady at the... One last show. And after... Nobody wants things to just... Yeah. The show just won't be the same without...
Got it.
Nhanh nào.
Uh...
Mon đi thuê người thôi. Nói với
Please,
tôi.
there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right
Tại
asking
sao
such
nó
a
lại liên
huge
quan đến
favor.
nhiệm vụ truyền thuyết của
I can't
Furina?
promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions, we should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who? That's how you know we're the best. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular.
Nó có liên quan gì đến cái treo lơ không?
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Hai vị nghĩ đến ai vậy? Là người nổi tiếng sao? Furina.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Tao không đùa.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good.
You're not wrong there. She's
Này,
actually
nó biểu
performed
diễn
in a
một vở
number
kịch
of big name
500
shows
năm.
before. They were one of the reasons she was so
Còn
popular.
nghi ngờ trình độ của nó nữa.
But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an...
Không còn là thị
well,
thần.
yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was
Thế là
actually
chắc chắn là
willing
sau
to,
rồi.
then of course, I'm sure everyone in our troupe is... Of
Bởi vì
course,
bình thường thì nếu
it
ai
all
kể chơi nhiệm
depends
vụ
on
ma
whether
thần với
she's
chơi nhiệm vụ truyền
interested.
thuyết.
She might consider this opportunity.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know. And besides, things are different now.
Bởi bây giờ không như lúc trước nữa, đã không còn lý do để giữ thần thái cao ngạo rồi. Đúng rồi, chúng ta lên xem
I guess I'll just stay here and wait for
mọi
the good
thứ xảy
news.
ra thế nào sau nhiệm vụ truyền ma thần đỉnh cao.
She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's moved out, right?
Tiền này.
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can
Hello,
provide it to you.
Catherine đi ra ngoài luôn rồi.
Woo! When did you get here?
I came over
Ra
when
ngoài
things
chạm
were
cỏ luôn
starting
rồi.
to sound.
Đứng
It
đấy
is my
cả
duty to support
ngày.
commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yo, ok.
Well, now that we've got the...
Catherine đi ra ngoài thì tao làm sao nhận được ủy thác đây? Ở ý kiến của Furina khá là gần đây. Đây Furina đây. Mẹ. Quán cà phê à?
Did Catherine really give us the right address?
Kìa,
She lives here?
nó đi gần đấy.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just a bit of...
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Giọng khác vậy. Giọng trầm hơn rất nhiều so với hồi xưa trẻ trâu bố láo mất dạy.
Okay, when did Poppy go to thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
Tự dưng lại trông nghèo khó đấy nhỉ?
I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Giờ giọng trầm hơn rất nhiều.
Not at all.
Đó
As
là
long as
người
you
mà
have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
có thể chuẩn bị thêm vài loại nước sốt. Đầu tiên ăn sốt cà chua trong một tuần và đó ăn sốt thịt trong một tuần.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
Chết rồi. Bảo sao ở trên định vẽ Facebook cơ. Chết đó. Oh my god.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life
Nhà
these
mình vẫn
days.
chưa để ý
Actually,
skill nấu nướng ở
barely
trong
leave the
bếp
house.
thế nào. Dạo
So
này
I
toàn nấu
don't
nướng tự
see
động thôi
how
mình.
it's unusual that my meals are a
Sao ra
little
ngoài cũng không có
simpler
gì
now
làm nên tôi
too.
cứ ở trong nhà cả ngày. Vãi lộn. Vì vậy chuyện ăn uống đơn giản cũng bình thường mà.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Quả nhiên là cô không biết làm.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
Vẫn hay các bạn.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So
Giờ
if
khác rồi.
you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
Không biết giờ thủy thần mất rồi thì không biết ai làm thủy thần nữa nhỉ? Thủy thần thật sự bị chém đầu rồi.
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad.
Mon chỉ quan tâm xem cô sống ổn không thôi.
Yeah, exactly what the traveler said. Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry,
Giờ người
it's
chưa
nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the
Giờ
lecture
giọng khác
about
vãi
your
chưởng.
attitude just now. So tell me, what
Không còn
specifically makes this
Focilor
matter so...
kiểu. Hereby welcome you to the nation of
I
Hydro.
see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense.
Rõ ràng.
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of
Giờ
Fontaine.
giờ cầm đi chạy khắp Tây Bát xong rồi đi đánh khắp La Hoàn mà.
A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
Giọng hay lắm, phải ngồi nghe hết. Không skip được nhiều.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the
Thế,
stage.
sao retire là thế đó nào?
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon,
Buồn
the
thế.
time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me.
Oh man. Nah.
Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary, and so I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Chết rồi.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just
Này
have
chán
to
rồi,
disband
chán
without
rồi.
any fan. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships, since I'm just an ordinary person now. They'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I drew a line in the sand without thinking about every possible grain on the other side.
Well,
Draw line,
is
draw
there
cái dấu gì
anything
green
else
on the
we can
sand
do?
without thinking
This
the sign on
performance
the
really
line.
means a lot to the
Cái này.
guy we're working for.
Dạ, vì thành ngữ các kiểu.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound...
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted... Yeah, I guess that's...
Toodaloo.
Dạ đúng, giọng đoạn hay thì skip ạ. Toodaloo. Đấy trưởng. Quay về truyền đặt lại ý kiến của Furina.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings a...
Đúng rồi, đau buồn lắm. Dạ.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for...
And that gives you the right to make it...
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment?
Sorry. I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't happy.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to...
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid.
Bây giờ hai
We
câu
did the
hai câu
scolding on the
kiểu
last
không
guy.
không ghép đủ rồi nên là nó chia thành hai lời thoại. Ây. Chứ cân cùi xin lỗi chuyện lôi đình mà chơi chúng ta một chuyện chơi bẩn nhất. Mất.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking. Calm down. So, despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still...
Look, this is the last chance we have, though. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it?
Yes, I'm completely confident. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. Every one of us thinks of this troupe...
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Trời đứng đấy. Chồng.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Đây.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
Nó vẫn còn cái tính đấy.
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, teensy. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to it, and all before I even had a full... I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Nghỉ rồi nhưng mà vẫn còn tính trẻ trâu. Yo. Oh. Okay.
You really have a knack for asking the most I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me.
Công nhận con này. Ít vẽ ơi khắc kéo gì ơi. Ra khỏi cung điện phát là thành nghèo khó ngay.
But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Không được ở trên ngai vàng nên là ở trọ xong rồi mẹ mày cả tuần mua ăn biết nấu mỗi mì ống ăn với sốt. Mà mì ống có cái đồn gì nhỉ? Mì ống giống mì tôm thôi đúng không? Giống mì Ý ấy.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack.
Kiểu như
I mean,
để
how
anh
could
cho
we be
nước vào xong rồi
worthy of
cho mì
having
vào để
Lady
cho nó
Furina
mềm ra
star in
là
our
đổ
show?
sốt lên là được.
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the... Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe.
We all want to believe that, but everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe.
Her name was O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
And she was the founder, as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
Cái bộ ma thần đấy. Mẹ sợ vậy.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on... People loved our performance.
And then disaster...
Yeah. After... None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. It's agonizing. But ultimately...
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings, who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken.
Furina là người duy nhất, nhân vật duy nhất mà tôi không skip lời thoại. Không đọc xong đâu là skip đâu mà phải ngồi nghe hết lời thoại. Quá đỉnh cao. Không có danh hơn 13 GB lời thoại mà mình tải về.
Yes, exactly. Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale,
Tao vào diễn nữa.
But I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this...
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese, is that there's a lot you don't see. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human... What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should like to observe, perchance.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me?
Tàn gãy tay Paimon.
Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances. All right, follow me.
There'll be an extra fee for it.
Huh? Lady Furina?
Kinh chưa? Đỉnh chưa? Xịn chưa?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina
vẫn
will be
nhầm.
supporting our production of these two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
I'm sure they need no introduction.
You bet. That was the trial of the century.
Đỉnh cao.
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Anh ngờ. Nhiệm vụ ma thần chương 4 màn 2 bài đấy đúng không?
Oh, please
Màn
don't
1 là của
mention
Lini
it.
rồi.
We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying the little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director.
Chương 4 màn 3 màn 4 ở dưới tù.
One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So,
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling
Mẹ
issues
gặp
on
kịch còn
every
chưa xong.
front, trying to
Kịch bản
realize
chưa
this
xong nữa
dream.
thì ăn thua gì?
Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into... She longed to live just like any other human. But one day, her true identity was...
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
that's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true to...
By true to life, you mean...
Yeah, like they say, but then there's the question of whether we really...
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the...
Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us...
What opportunity?
Maybe you're unaware, but...
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Vẽ thêm cả Furina vào đóng góp cho vở kịch thì sẽ rất nhiều view. Bú phim. Ngoài đời người ta gọi là thế.
Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason there, but one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the
Makes sense. Okay, he went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and...
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson.
Well, that's very sad.
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Giờ đâu không thể chịu được việc nhìn thấy Furina buồn. That's so bad. So bad, bro. Nếu hiểu sao thị trấn như thế này chúng không ở được. Thấy lòng đất thế này bảo sao mà bị thảm kịch buồn.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
Ai đó.
It's me. Is the script ready?
Có cái.
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out.
Ra đây
We've got some
cho
great
đỡ buồn.
news.
Ở ngoài đấy không có cỏ nên không có mặt trời.
Nice try. Look, just give me
Nice
some
try.
time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Ra đây thích ngay, giờ nhìn Furina giải thích.
Okay then. Look at...
Nó không ra ngoài được.
So, As expected, he's...
The ending is one of them. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all...
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town and...
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet?
Thôi, mẹ. Hai người khóc nhiều nhất đến thời điểm hiện tại của game. Từ đầu game đến giờ tao chưa thấy ai khóc cả. Và Fontaine đúng là quốc gia của nước có khóc nhiều quá rồi.
We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do.
Câu chuyện của Inazuma của Raiden đau thương như thế mà không khóc. Của Nahida cũng thế, câu chuyện mà bị dân chúng nhốt ở trong lồng mấy trăm năm không khóc, không có gì có khóc nhưng mà ít. Thế mà ở đây mẹ khóc hàng tấn.
And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point, but for now, at least.
It's okay. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe.
Không ai biết được thủy thần đã làm những gì. Còn blame thủy thần đấy.
To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina.
Nói trong thị trấn là các vị đều không phải là đều là người của đoàn kịch, cô là diễn viên đóng vai Furina.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you will.
That's so thoughtful of you, Not.
Well, what do you expect?
I am the
courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all. Like my anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take... I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with.
Đấy, chán chưa?
So maybe she's right.
Ra khỏi cung điện phát là nghèo khó như ấy luôn.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of... Still, I felt it was something I had to do. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had...
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of it.
I can't let myself see...
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Tụi mình dân làng. Người đất bơi. Tí chết.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll, and...
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives, they thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm.
Thì là game thì mình vẫn phải nghĩ theo game. Chứ ngoài đời làm đéo hiểu chuyện này.
And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
Ai biết đây đéo phải thủy thần đâu.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing...
I've had to go through so many moments like that. Eventually, fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as everyone rose to their responsibility. But on some
Paimon would have never...
Reward?
Dạ cô có thể dũng cảm nói lời cho mình.
I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was and exposing a secret I swore to
Kết thúc
protect.
vì vẫn buồn buồn.
Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. I do.
Chuyên gia ngoại giao người ta
I
đấy.
once had nothing but the
Paimon đấy.
truth, and
Chuyên gia
now
ngoại giao đấy.
I'm finally free to live my own life again. At least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back.
Ôi, biết xong rồi. Bố mày đang sáng tạo. Gọi cái mà mẹ mày.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Fish and chip.
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your...
Are you kidding me right now? It's not... I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willing...
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human.
Me? I'm an Ocean.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he... outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So...
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty... If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering.
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic state. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced, and it was only after she was gone that we...
You mentioned earlier that the troupe was like your...
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my... It was like that until the director found me one day. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act.
She sounds like a...
She really was. She gave everything. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, one day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all...
Let me guess.
Yeah. For the first time in my life.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Holy shit! His reaction be like...
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here!
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you... I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid. Plants and flowers are withering. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a
Consciousness?
Water as a conscious entity.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, the little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to... If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory... What about if... the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her? Her lover
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. Both on the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed.
But doesn't the way she's...
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but...
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that because... Well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aureli.
What? You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away.
Oh no.
She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was... I said, maybe one day in the future. Well, maybe that... And now... Oh, Paulo. So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
Ôi,
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all, face to face.
Vinmart.
We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending.
Well, if that's where we're at...
Are you ready to face the truth?
Tìm Vinmart thôi.
I'm slightly
Vinmart
terrified.
ở
But
Fontaine
for the sake of
Hơi
our
khó tìm
final
ấy nhỉ?
performance, funny you should ask though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone.
Take it easy.
This is tough going.
Đi tìm Vinmart.
As if this journey...
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here.
Rồi
We
tao
don't need to take a detour.
tao equip Furina rồi.
Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
What? Obviously.
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but
Tất nhiên rồi.
don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Tên được để chuyển hóa thành indemnitium.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like
Cuối cùng có người cho
damsel
mình
in
vào tay,
distress more than anything.
ra tay.
Sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
Giật hết cách.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am for...
Aww, too bad.
Chán nhỉ?
I was so pumped to feast.
Sorry to leave all the...
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Đánh có vài con slam ăn thua gì?
Busted.
No. Dissipate. I'll settle this.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
Nhớ tao không dùng Furina đâu ấy. I'm not using Furina for the law accurate.
Bravo! Good show. You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway,
Oh, shit.
the path is cleared now. So onwards
So
and
my mom
upwards.
is calling. All right, let's continue.
Vilma, are you there?
Vừa tắt vừa tạm dừng nên là cũng không delay nhiều đâu. Chắc là chỉ 1-2 giây thôi nhưng mà gọi đến giờ 2 phút ấy. Ok.
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
À, Vinmart đây rồi. Sao Vin?
I can explain. We've been rounding up.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone?
Vinmart xây cho mình cái lều ở ngoài đồng không vuông quạnh. View nhìn ra đại sảnh Fontaine rất là đẹp.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the little OC. If I open this can of worms now...
Vilmont, avoiding the truth will not help unless you mean to suggest that O'Reilly's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Chết rồi.
Listen,
Nghe đây là người
Vilmont.
xấu.
I used to think that my love for O'Reilly was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind the little OC in it cannot be complete.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
Và còn gọi là retarded.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough.
Gần như là free.
We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even so, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsor. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director.
Chết rồi.
It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Nó có nước biển khởi nguyên nhưng mà nồng độ ít. Nên là nó gần giống như là methamphetamine hoặc còn gọi là mai thủy đá.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant, was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened. I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
Nước hàn the, xin the.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy.
Hey, don't say that.
Chết nhỉ?
You traitor!
Chết rồi.
You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us?
You traitor!
What do you mean? You were afraid. This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her.
Nghe giọng rất là mẹ mình tức giận và điên.
How could you be so stupid?
Bảo sao nó ra đây nó trốn.
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Calm down, bro.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Chết rồi. Đưa tôi đi gặp Chúa.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
Chết dở. Điên rồi. Bao leo với cả Vinmart.
That's enough. You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now, Pike, can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real... You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell what she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her. I understand why you're...
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the... What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. If she'd seen Paulo and Villemont at each other's throats like that...
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So...
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that if you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings?
No.
Well, we'll leave it.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
Lại qua đây để thăm nhà cũ. Trong cung điện thì không lấy đâu bóng mặt trời nào, một phần là do game này landing nó kém. Ở đây ở khu vực khu vực khác ngoài thế giới.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the
So, this is all Aurelie left behind.
Hey! It's full of script lines!
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here. Aha! I found... Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are...
Kinh lắm à?
I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Đâu. đi. Lại có người bị bắt đi hôm nay là người thứ 6 rồi. Đây là người thứ 7. Hôm qua có người muốn bỏ chạy nhưng bị bắt lại. Vãi cả lồn. Đọc đến dòng thứ 3 đây mà đã thấy bắt đầu sợ ấy. Mình kiểu cũng không hẳn là hôm qua, tôi không xác định được ngày giờ nữa rồi. Không biết viết tiếp như vậy có ích gì không, cũng không thể biết tôi có viết được bao lâu. Tôi đã có thể đoán trước được số phận của mình trong tương lai gần, nhưng điều khiến tôi sợ hãi hơn cả là xin lỗi, tôi không thể viết tiếp được nữa. Chắc là tôi bị sốt rồi. Bệnh dạ dày cũng tái phát, nhưng không ai cho tôi thuốc Gracie, đau đến nỗi cả đêm không ngủ được. Chúng ta có thể thấy là đây là nơi mà cái thằng Vache nó nhốt mấy cô gái ở trong để nó chuẩn bị đưa ra làm thí nghiệm với cái hàn the của nó. Hàn the là ít nồng độ nước biển khởi nguyên hơn, cần dùng cho trước khi chết là được. Bla 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 bla. Vâng, các bạn thấy cảm xúc của người viết lên dòng này rất là đáng sợ, cho dù đây chỉ là chữ được viết bằng phông chữ của Genshin thôi. Vâng, dòng thứ 3 cũng có thể thấy là trang này cực kỳ khó hiểu, người bút di lung tung không theo quy luật, đành phải cố gắng nhìn từng nét chữ. Rất khủng khiếp. Dòng thứ 4 đây. Bắt đầu từ trang này là lời thoại nhạc kịch được ghi chép hoặc trích đoạn, không còn ghi chép theo kiểu nhật ký. Vài dòng thoại được cắt ra từ sách của báo. Viết tay có rất nhiều dấu vết tẩy xóa và được đọc thường xuyên để suy nghĩ. Đây thì không còn là chữ nữa.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of... I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been.
Kiểu bị rape và nhìn mà cái thằng hung thủ nó sát hại ấy. Nhưng mà trong đây là game 12 cộng nên là nó chỉ là hòa tan thôi, chứ nó không kiểu làm những cái trò. Các bạn có thể tự tra trên Google những cái vụ án có thể xem. Nói chung là game này nó có tạo ra một cái vụ án gần giống như ngoài đời như vậy.
Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this still what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
What?
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure this is what the troupe. She had their utmost trust. Let's go.
Tao biết mà. Rất là khủng khiếp.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of...
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still...
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. Even we know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about director Aurelie and her alone.
Nhiệm vụ vụ án giết người kinh điển của Pháp được đưa vào trong game.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you...
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned if you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role. Pouring all and aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world. I don't believe anybody could be more committed to...
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss...
Then, let's not delay things any longer.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh?
Oh.
But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be...
Well, if you...
All right, I'll leave you to find...
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Nhà hát kịch Hà Nội. Hoặc còn gọi là viện ca kịch Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
Nhà hát kịch Trung ương.
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on... Come on! We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette.
Tài trợ. Tìm anh Nêu. Nêu Veletel là Nêu Villet. They are the same.
Hey! I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You
Đây
see...
Vẫn sân khấu kịch đỉnh cao nhất của Fontaine.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, the story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. In the past, we sat in our... Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a great sense of curiosity about...
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life.
Giống kiểu cán cân công lý.
Now that you've regained some confidence.
Why...
Well, if the little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic.
Come on,
many theater companies are... The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, it would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Come on, you can do it!
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales.
Thanks, Nervilette.
You are very welcome.
Đóng thì hay quá. Hỗ trợ tập luyện giờ mới hỗ trợ tập luyện đây à?
Take it easy.
Bấm space không bay được qua đoạn đấy.
Good news, everyone. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, we've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. But we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly a touching story. And now, let's work together.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, Fiamal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive...
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far.
It's amazing. Even though Furina's still being a bit...
Please feel free to give us any comments.
Hey, Loic, get over here.
So the game is loading. Hay không? Chục.
Accursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
Thị trưởng do Vinmart thủ vai.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long... If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Come on. You can do it.
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again.
Oh no!
But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
Oh fuck, oh shit, bro.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
Đấy, trông thanh niên toàn ăn đồ ăn chiên rán cuối cùng lại trông kém hay lịt.
I'm sorry.
What
I've
now?
let everyone down.
Hay là cuối cùng Furina ra đóng.
You...
Thôi, lúc để tranh cãi.
This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Hy vọng là Furina sẽ ra đóng.
Miss Furina?
Đấy.
I'd like to make a request of you.
Yes, yes.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest.
Tao biết từ lâu rồi.
I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one...
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale.
I will sing the finale.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Trốn làm sao được.
After all that, everything's come full circle.
Everything come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Quan hệ yếu đuối. Không. Bị bệnh mà.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting into... No one likes regrets. Myself included.
Bài nhạc nền. Đỉnh cao. Bài nhạc nền.
Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
Here we go. This is it. This is it.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines?
I mean, it's been a long time. Rất lâu rồi. Mình mới lại có hứng chơi Genshin đến mức vậy. Vâng, và đúng lúc này chúng ta nhận được tin Mark lại thắng trận thứ 19 của mùa giải năm nay. Mark lại thắng trận Abu Dhabi lần thứ 4 liên tiếp.
Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this
world. Ngày 26 tháng 11.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Come on. You can do it. This is it.
here yet?
Must she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis, serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Alright, that was very cool. Rất là hay đúng không? Có thể thấy rất hay.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
Tôi đấy, Furina đấy, trời ơi.
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
Rồi, người ta sẽ nói tại sao. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me.
Người ta nhìn phát người ta nhận ra ngay rồi ông ấy.
It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself. Even if I had no... Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
It's what, indeed.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or...
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that? Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh shit.
I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy?
I want. Let's go check on her as soon.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to, if nothing else.
I need to heal. Được thêm 10.000 máu thì tốt. Vẫn tốt, vẫn khỏe là ok rồi.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her...
How did the performance go?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic. Also, you...
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end.
Oh, don't worry about it. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene.
Well, I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect...
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you...
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Yeah.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you.
Oh, so now you finally got your What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is... I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Bóng đá nhỉ? Đá làm huyền thoại xong thì quay về làm huấn luyện viên.
Yeah. There was once a time when I wasn't, but from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them.
Và nhiệm vụ đỉnh cao nhất. Từ trước đến giờ.
I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage. I'm sure this is...
Sounds like you're ready to stop running. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
All right.
I'm just finishing packing up. Thanks to all your help, but most of all...
Mình rời khỏi đây là nó sẽ...
I mean...
There'll be plenty of opportunity.
I mean...
There'll be plenty of...
Now that the buzz is worn off...
Furina.
Thank you so much. It might turn out.
Bạn này còn đéo liên quan gì. Go, we take a picture. Alright. Vậy là nhiệm vụ truyền thuyết của Furina đến đây thôi. Mọi người cùng đón chờ đến với các nhiệm vụ khác. Còn nhiều lắm. Yeah.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time, and now that the gods have given me their blessing,
cuối cùng cũng có cái vision đúng không? Alright. Quay lại ở đây được không? Không rồi. Ok, vậy là hôm nay nhiệm vụ truyền thuyết đến vậy thôi. Cảm ơn mọi người đã xem. Hãy để lại một like, comment và subscribe. Ok.